Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and I'm here today to welcome you down to the Poserverse. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. I'm going to talk about what books I'm picking up on tomorrow's new comic book day, the 18th? It's the 18th, because my son starts kindergarten, and now I feel old that I have a kindergartner. And then I have another one who will be in kindergarten a year after that. And then we gotta wait 2 years until Charlie's in kindergarten, but good God, I'm getting old, and you can tell by the hair that she's going bye-bye. So to find out what I think you should read along with me, you'll have to check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't forget, weekly Whatnot auction on this Thursday night at 8:30 Central. I don't know what I'm selling yet. I'll have a good idea of what I will by the time I get there, but you know, it'll be the same old random things. I think I'm also going to do a purge of some of the Marvel and DC books that have just been sitting in bins that I don't think I want to hold on to anymore. So I might have, I don't know, the same kind of random stuff I always do. So come by and check it out. Hopefully we'll have a good time. So let's get to the books. Alright, 2 books called Batman coming out again this week. Batcat number 6 is coming out. I really enjoy this series that, you know, while it has the dynamics between Batman and the Catwoman, that I like how this kind of shows Catwoman's relationship with other people throughout the story, right? That we get to learn about the dark hidden secrets of Catwoman, and I think that's pretty cool. We also get Secret Files Clown Hunter number 1 coming out. I'm intrigued by the idea of Clown Hunter a little bit. I thought he might have been a little too campy or a little too childish the way he played off from the Joker War. But I want to kind of see what it's like when he gets to spread his own wings and fly. From Aftershock is Beyond the Breach number 2. I didn't have number 1 on my pull. It was my shop owner's pick of the week that week. And it was wild in terms of looking at all of these creatures from another world that have shown up to just destroy this area in California. So I want to see how Vanessa will continue to survive this literal hell on Earth. But pretty dope series, and the art is kind of cool. And I like how much contrast you get in this cover, right? What looks like big flaming, you know, sky with scary monster, and then kind of the black and white outline. That's pretty dope. One of the books that I'm super excited about, starring my man Booster Gold, Blue and Gold number 2 comes out this week. I really enjoyed the first one, just with the live streaming of him trying to free the Justice League from that plane in the sky. Wild. So excited to check this out. Next up, we got Critical Role Vox Machina Origins number 3. I am just now picking up on to this series that I've got the library edition of whatever the first Vox Machina series was, and then I found 1 and 2 in a dollar bin somewhere. So as I continue to work through Campaign 1 of Critical Role, since I'm all caught up on Campaign 2 and Exandria Unlimited, I kind of want to crawl through these and see how I feel about them. But I like how this kind of offers depth into looking at the home game days of Critical Role. Eat the Rich number 1. I got a small preview of this from Boom a couple of months ago. That was all the different covers and the first 5 or 6 pages. There's a short preview of it up on comicbookposer.com, but I'm excited to check out this, you know, something is not as perfect as it seems kind of book. Flash 773 is coming out. We've got, Kid Flash, but Wally West is now back as the Flash. We get Heatwave coming in, and Mr. Terrific makes an appearance. So I'm really intrigued what's going on in this, and I really like the beginning of this new arc. Next from Aftershock is God of Tremors number 1. It's $7 because it's one of those magazine-sized one-shot books. There's also a preview of this up on comicbookposer.com, and I'll drop a link in the description below. This is just absolutely insane. And I think I'll leave it at that. The art is absolutely breathtaking in this book. So if you like some good shock horror, and you want to flip the page and literally go, this is the book for you. We got Guardians 17. We got Dormammu showing up. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in this one. I'm going to keep pulling it, though. It's not that bad. I don't know how in the hell that I selected the 1 in 50 variant, because I know my shop's not going to order 50 of it, so that's my bad. I probably wanted, like, the 1 in 10. Oops. From Vault, we get Hollow Heart number 6. I think this is the final book of the series, and it makes me sad, because I think this has just been beautiful on so many levels, looking at L, grappling with, you know, his sense of humanity versus his machine identity versus how he's perceived by the people around him, looking at Mateo and kind of his conception of love and the situation that he's dealing with. This is just amazing. From Image is Home number 5. Hopefully there's another arc of this, right? That I knew it was going to be 5 from Jump, but this series has been so awesome to me in terms of looking at how this young man fleeing ice is coming to dealing with his powers, but also learning that he's not the first member of his family that has had exceptional powers as well, right? His aunt and both his father had powers, and it's given them brushes with the authorities in the past. Homesick Pilots number 8 is coming out. Number 7 was an absolute trip. I really feel like I want to sit down and just binge read this entire series again to see what kind of little Easter eggs that I've missed over and over again. And that's really the big downside of reading as many books in a week as I do, that it's hard to keep them straight from time to time. I just need to start taking notes, but that would make this too academic and boring, right? Nah. From Marvel Comics is Kang the Conqueror number 1. I'm very excited to look at this story in terms of kind of giving the origin of Kang, how he becomes kind of the eater and destroyer of the universe. I like how he's been used a lot, so I want to see what he does, right? And I think I just conflated Kang and Galactus for a second. I know that they're two different people, but it's too damn late and I'm too damn tired. From Dark Horse Comics is Killer Queens number 1. I threw this on the poll when I saw it for my own FOC video that I was intrigued by the idea of it, but Brian over at Simpleman's Comics offers a far more eloquent explanation of why this book is worth picking up, so I'll add this to the links up at the top. Man Eaters, The Curse number 2. I really enjoyed issue number 1, kind of the look at what's happening to the kids who are at the end of the alphabet at craft camp, and how the people who did not disappear now have to grapple with the disappearances. I really enjoyed this. Marauders 23, Behind. Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal number 4. You know that I'm A, excited about AWA books, B, excited about anything that Garth Ennis touches, and C, if you see a woman and a velociraptor sharing the same cover getting mugshots taken, you know that this is probably the book for me. Next up is Moon Knight number 2. I really enjoyed issue number 1 that, you know, I've slowly been getting into the world of Moon Knight as a character, and I really liked everything that happened in this first issue. I like the idea of the Midnight Mission. I like the idea that you see him like talking to a therapist at times, that I think that that's pretty cool. But I really enjoyed this series, and I would not be shocked if it ekes its way into my top 5-ish again at the end of the week. Again, from AWA is Moths number 3. I'm excited to look at this one, especially through the lens of the Free Comic Book Day Resistance book that did some weaving of Emily from Moths into the broader universe of the Resistance Reborn. And I'll leave it at that. Next up from Image is Noctera number 6. Again, this is super amazing. You definitely want to see what Val has to do to kind of survive the coming direct threat of the Dark, and new direct threat to her that we learn about throughout issue number 5. Next up is Radiant Black number 7. Radiant Black number 5 was shocking. Radiant Black number 6 was pretty damn cool because you got to learn the identity of Radiant Red, and that story was absolutely breathtaking that I did not see very much of that coming, and it definitely brings the story back full circle. So I'm excited to see what happens now. Next up from Image Comics is Second Chance's Hotline. That it's literally a dude who tries to give people a second chance in life. That he's all kinds of a screw-up, that I talked about this on the FOC video. So I'm excited to see if it's as intriguing as I think it could be. Next up from Marvel Comics is Sinister War number 3. Still have to read number 2, but I had to own up to the fact that I liked number 1, and I had to pick up the subsequent issue of Amazing Spider-Man that I stopped pulling because I didn't like, as Jason, my shop owner, called him, the Amazing Sad Sack that Nick Spencer had turned him into. Spider-Woman number 14, I, again, love this series. I like how it talks about how we're now going to look at all the Kaiser Sose clues that have been leaving around. I have a feeling that I'm going to read this book and then immediately read 1 through 13 all over again. Static number 3 comes out. I really have enjoyed this series, as I've talked about a number of times. Hardware number 1 came out last week, which I also liked as much, and I feel like, my level of anticipation and excitement for it was met by the book. So again, I'm in love with the fact that these milestone characters are back again. Time Before Time number 4 is out. This is the story about the detectives who hop through time and end up working with, like, the mafia, or some kind of cartel or gang or whatever you want to call them. And apparently the jig might be up and they may be found out, like, a book and a half after that they try and make that deal. Then we get the pile of X that I'm behind on. Way of X number 5, X-Core number 4, and then the Trial of Magneto number 1 all come out. I'm behind. I know that this is kind of the next big hypey event, and I gotta catch up soon. Maybe I'll read this after I get caught up on all my free comic book day stuff. And then You Promised Me Darkness number 5 is the last book. This is the final book of the first arc. I still have to read number 4, but I've enjoyed 1 through 3. So we'll see how I feel about this when all is said and done, if I'm going to continue to pick up the series into Arc 2 or not. The last thing that we'll do is talk about the Scout books that are coming out, that, again, some of these I might already have from the Scout box, some of them I'll be waiting for in the next Scout box. First up is Redshift number 2. I loved Redshift number 1, and I forgot to give a shout out and thank you to HS Talk, who I wrote a preview of this and got a lovely media mailer in the Postal Service from Mars, and it was an Ash Cannon number 1 of Redshift, but I really love the idea of this story. I feel like Midnight Western Theater was on the list last week to come out, and I said I still haven't read issues 2 and 3, and somebody yelled at me in the comments or in the chat and was like, you need to read that. I will. And then Scoot Frontiers number 1 is the big kind of previewy magazine of everything that's come out from Scoot, and I think that's kind of cool, that instead of maybe swinging and missing on all of these individual books or titles with your kids, that you could share this with, your child, your young reader, or really yourself, to figure out if there's anything from their youth imprint that you want to get into. So that's it. What do you think? Anything that I'm missing out on this week that I should pick up? As always, if you're in the chat, I'm sure you let me know over here. If not, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.